From Prairie Stadium in Eden Prairie, the Wednesday night season finale between the Eagles and the Hornets. Hi, everybody, here on PSB Media, streaming live on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Alongside Brett Johnson, I'm Patrick Lilia. Critical game tonight, perhaps the number 3 seed going into the 6A playoffs on the line. 2 undefeated teams remaining, both in action tonight as well. Of course, Blaine taking on Anoka and Lakeville North taking on Egan. So one would think that most likely those 2 teams, Blaine and Lakeville North, will come out on top tonight. Though this game perhaps for the number 3 seed. Edina has not beaten Eden Prairie since 2012. Second to final week of the season, a 17-6 victory for the Hornets. It was one of 2 straight losses to close out that 2012 season, but ended up being just academic as Eden Prairie went on to win the state title that season. For 6 years later, completely different game this evening. Edina will get the ball first. Talk about their offense, led by quarterback Ethan Huffendick and the running back Matt Kavanaugh, one of the best running backs in 6A this year. But they've also added a new wrinkle with their wide receiver Jake Boltman, who came on at mid-season. We'll get to see their offense first. The Eagles getting set to kick off the season finale. Preston Dorsey looking to tee it up. And Prairie having won 5 in a row since that Week 2 shutout disappointment at Lakeville North at 14-0 defeat.
Yeah, getting ready to go. I'm looking forward to this one, Patrick. This is going to be an interesting matchup. As you said, Edina not beating Edina not beaten Eden Prairie since 2012, I should say, and this is a talented, defensive-minded Edina squad up for this challenge.
The short kickoff taken about the 20-yard line, returned to about the 26, and that's where the Hornets will go on offense for the first time. Led by the aforementioned quarterback Ethan Huffendick, 53.8% completion percentage on the year, 502 yards, 4 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. But the star of this offense, the running back Matt Kavanaugh, 958 rush yards and 6 touchdowns on the season. And expect to see a lot of him. So we Kavanaugh rushing for 87 yards. It's on first down. There's a quick out pass to the far side. That'll be complete for about 5 yards, and it'll be a nice gain, and Edina will have second down and about 5.
Well, interesting stats here coming into the game, talking with Jim Paulson over at the Star Tribune. Of their last 42 points Edina has scored, 35 have come in the first quarter. So you and I were also talking before the game, Patrick, up to them to get off to a fast starter. This is going to be an awfully tough matchup.
As Boltman and Anders Freeland come out to the near side, second down and 4 officially from the 31. Another quick bubble screen. Boltman gets a stiff arm, gets pushed out of bounds. About the 40-yard line, we'll have a first down after a gain of 8.
Yeah, pretty well-designed play. Let's go ahead and watch it on our replay.
We'll mark it back at the 38, rather, but still good enough for a first down.
Boltman, a late addition to this squad, as I think you were saying, coming in mid-season. And he's really been an offensive spark for this Edina Hornet squad.
Freeland out to the near side as Kavanaugh gets his first carry, swallowed up after a gain of about 2. It'll be second down and 8 upcoming. Kavanaugh is also one of the top, if not the top defensive player on Edina. Don't see it very often at the 6A level where the two-way player is the best on both sides of the ball, but in this case, Matt Kavanaugh is that guy. Very good cornerback hybrid safety for the Hornets. We'll see him, of course, on defense in a little bit. Second down and 7 from the 41. That's Huffendick on the trickery. He gets away, still on his feet, and he's got a first down up to the 50-yard line. That was a great run by Ethan Huffendick. Broke out of a tackle, reverse direction a couple of times, is able to pick up the first down and a gain of 8.
Yeah, look at that evasiveness by the quarterback. It looked like he was going to be Caught back for a loss of 2 yards, but just broke some tackles, made some nice moves. Big first down for the Hornets.
First down right at midfield. The up back handoff picks up a gain of about 2. John Deutsch, the second running back. But Edina moves into Eagles territory on their first possession. It's Huff and Dick getting some more instructions. High formation here on 2nd and 8. As Kavanaugh this time bursts through. Be taken down about 2 yards shy of the first down.
I like this drive Edina's done right here. Now good play calls, keeping the Eden Prairie defense off balance. And also important as well, it's always a cliche to get your running game going, and so far Edina's had a couple of nice runs. Just see straight up the middle. Offensive line didn't create a real big hole, but enough of one to set up a 3rd and short for the Hornets.
Edina comes out in that pro formation on 3rd down and 3. Kavanaugh working his way through. He bursts through. He's got a first down and more, tackled at about the 32-yard line. Pickup of 9 by Kavanaugh, and Edina moves the chains again. It's a first down.
Well, he's their guy, and Kavanaugh has rumbled his way up the middle. Decent blocking and also broke a couple of tackles. He's a tough boy to bring down. Big boy for these Hornets.
Edina, we've talked about in the pregame. They get off to some fast starts, but have trouble sustaining it. Kavanaugh hit this time after a short gain, pick up about 2. It's Quentin Matsui who put on the first hit.
Yeah, it's a team built on fast starts, as you're saying. I mean, it's hard to believe because they love great moving the ball. It's hard to believe that they've been shut out pretty much in the second half the past few weeks of getting little to no offense.
2 weeks ago, scored all 21 of their points against Minnetonka in the first quarter, held on for that 21-7 victory. Second down and 8. Kavanaugh not going to get much, maybe 1 or 2, fighting forward. Maybe got a little bit more than initially thought, but it'll be a short gain nonetheless. It'll be 3rd down and about 7 coming up.
Well, maybe that's the reason where they've run into some 3rd and long situations. I don't know, Patrick, if they have much in the passing game in terms of trying to pick up these long yardage situations, but I guess we're about to find out. Hello to a few of our listeners. Ray says, okay, the Eagles got this. Also, Sherwin says, UNC, what's up? Thanks, everyone, for tuning in to the broadcast tonight on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube.
3rd and 7 from the 28. It's Kavanaugh hit at the line of scrimmage, falls forward for a gain of about 2. It'll be 4th down and about 5.
I'm thinking that play call right there was anticipating that they were going to treat this as 4-down territory. Just they would have liked to have picked up a few more yards to make this play call a little bit easier. Now with the 4th and 5, 4th and 6. Not know what you're going to be looking at play call-wise. This is probably more like 4th and 6 if they're going to have to put the ball in the air. Maybe try to spring somebody for a long run.
Did get that misdirection going earlier. 4th and 6 from the 28.
Look how the quarterback is nearly walking to the sideline. I thought they'd call a timeout, or maybe he's running in person to tell the receiver what the play was.
That's what they are going to do. Edina taking a timeout, wanting to talk over this important first quarter play. 6:53 to go, first quarter from Prairie Stadium. Edina at Eden Prairie, no score. Watching PSB Media, I want to thank our sponsors for this season, the Mulch Store and Tactical Urban Combat. Thank you for being with us all season long here on PSB.
Yeah, thanks everyone also supporting and watching us. This is our 6th year covering Eden Prairie football, and while we have a moment, let's go through and read some more of those comments on the feed for tonight. I have quite a few people tuning in this evening. And still Sherwin and Ray saying hello. Also know Mike Ross, former broadcaster here for PSB Media. We got to bring him back into the fold. Also watching the game tonight. Mike, if you're listening, we'll get you some games this winter. We're into some hockey and some basketball. Not to take away from you, though, Patrick.
I can always share. Always room to share.
This is going to be an interesting play call for Edina to see if they try to put this one in the air or really, as you said, Patrick, probably going to need some misdirection if they indeed do keep it on the ground.
4th and 6 from the 28. Huffendick rushed immediately. Can't get away, and down he goes. Finished off by Felipe Izumi, and Edina turns it over on downs.
Yeah, just initially seeing this Edina team, I don't know if they really have a whole lot in the passing game. Holtman kind of rolled into where the pass rush was coming from, or the quarterback, excuse me, kind of rolled into where the pass rush was, which didn't help things, and no one was really open either, so it'll be a turnover on downs. Eden Prairie with 1st and 10 with good field position.
Eden Prairie takes over at their own 38, 1st down. Kramer under center, handoff Kruger. He's got a big hole. He's taken down about 2 yards shy of a 1st down. Nick Kruger, the leading rusher on the season for the Eagles. He comes in with 388 yards and 3 touchdowns on the season. That includes a 147-yard performance last week at Minnetonka. Both teams winning by 7-point margins last week. The Eagles, of course, defeating Minnetonka 23-16 in a game that maybe got to be a little hairier in the end than they anticipated the way things were going. 2nd down and 2 from the 46. Up back handoff Izumi. He's got a 1st down up to the 50. Felipe Izumi picking up that 1st down for the Eagles.
As we've talked about, a big reason why they've gotten their offense going over the past few weeks is that running game. Early in the season, it really struggled in their opening 2 road games against Lakeville North and Eastview, but they've really found something in this running game that I think Coach Mike Grant is happy with.
1st down from the 50. Might have almost drawn the offside. Quick pass out to Wolf. Wolf trying to work his way around the defender. It's number 4, Jackson Mollett, who forces him out of bounds for Edina, but a gain of about 5. It'll be 2nd down and 5. Talking about Eden Prairie's offense, he's scoring 14 total points in those first 2 games, but have averaged 31.8 since then. So Eden Prairie definitely figuring out their offensive problems. Eden Prairie 2nd and 5 from the Hornet 45. There's a handoff to Kruger. He'll have a gain of about 2.
Not a lot of room there. Let's take a look at that replay. You'll see a good push there from the Edina defensive line, which is quite an accomplishment. Yeah, good penetration, not giving them a lot of room. It's tough to do, even though this Eden Prairie offensive line is not as experienced or as big as they've typically had in years past. They've done a nice job blocking these past few weeks, but credit the Edina defense there for breaking through some blocks and holding Eden Prairie to a short run, and kind of a 3rd and no man's land here. Not sure what Eden Prairie is going to draw up.
3rd down and 2 from the Hornet 42. As Kramer's pass is caught for the 1st down, and breaking away is Sherman. He stepped out of bounds at about the 32-yard line. Sherman has become one of Kramer's favorite targets over the last several weeks. Caught that touchdown last week in the red zone. Get Eden Prairie in front right before halftime. That 14-yard pass in the red zone.
How many years has that play been a staple of that playbook? They always throw something crazy every once in a while. A double reverse and then a flea flicker back to the quarterback.
Inside handoff. Picking up about 4 yards will be number 33, Sam Thomas for Eden Prairie.
Just going back to that play, I mean, the Eagles get criticized a lot for running the same 5 or 6 plays, but every once in a while they will throw a gadget call in there. That time we saw that double reverse flea flicker. It seems like they run that about 2 or 3 times per year. I guess not the first time I've seen them run that play.
But I guess if you're a team that's won 11 state titles, who are we to criticize what kind of plays they run?
It's not a criticism. I mean,
I know.
It's a small playbook, but they run all those plays to perfection.
Kruger ahead, bangs forward for a gain of about 5. It'll be 3rd down and about 1.5 or 2. Like you were saying, Brett, they don't run a whole lot out of that playbook, but it has run them to most successful run in Minnesota State high school football. 3rd down and 2 from the 25. Kruger, he's got a 1st down and more into the secondary, taken down at about the 16-yard line. Matt Cavanaugh made the stop for Edina, but Eden Prairie in the red zone on their first possession. 3:49 to go in the first quarter, no score. Eden Prairie's first possession after they turned the Hornets over on downs.
Well, just about anyone could have run through the hole the offensive line created there on that left side. Nothing complicated, but the offensive line just executed very well for Eden Prairie.
It's a straight handoff up ahead, maybe gains about 2. As Rami Sabri, the tackle for Edina. J.D. Cowan checking in for Eden Prairie. Cowan also somebody who Kramer might think about looking for in the red zone. He's down on the near side. Timeout taken by Edina. That's their second already here in the first quarter. They have just one left. 3:06 to go in the first quarter. No score, but Eden Prairie in the red zone. And together an impressive opening drive after they took over on downs from the Hornets. Zumi finishing off that sack of Ethan Huffendick back in Eden Prairie territory when the Hornets had put together a pretty nice drive to start. Now Eden Prairie turns them over and has driven down into the Hornets' red zone.
Well, taking a look at the crowd, Edina brought a decent turnout here for kind of a cool night. Well, maybe they could bring a few more fans. Don't want to throw too much criticism because it's not like Eden Prairie's exactly brought their full crowd as well, but I'm sure we'll see some bigger turnouts once we get into the playoff time.
Well, the playoffs, of course, we talked about a little bit starting next week. Winner of this game wins the Metro West subdivision title and quite possibly the number 3 seed in the tournament, assuming Lakeville North and Blaine, both undefeated, go on to win this evening. 2nd and 8 from the 13. Kramer will fire it over the middle, caught for the touchdown by Matt Sherman. A 13-yard touchdown catch from Kramer to Sherman, another red zone touchdown reception for the Eden Prairie tight end, and Eden Prairie strikes first at 6-0.
Well, when you get your running game going like the Eagles have, that little fake was able to fool the Edina Hornets. You'll see it right here, that fake to the fullback. Did freeze the linebackers for just a second. I think that right outside linebacker was supposed to be on the tight end there, but
very similar to that play they ran to perfection last week against Minnetonka.
Yeah, just that little play action was able to fool the linebacker.
Extra point by Connor Reynolds is good. And Eden Prairie, with 3:03 to go in the first quarter, takes a 7-0 lead. A 13-yard touchdown pass from Cole Kramer to Matt Sherman.
Now Edina is going to get the ball back, and they can't get too down on themselves. I mean, they put together a pretty good first drive. They just kind of stalled out once they got into Eden Prairie territory. They just got to keep up that momentum offensively and stay in this one because, as we brought up, they've really struggled to put points on the scoreboard the later the game goes.
So they will get their second possession coming up in a moment. They drove all the way down to about the Eden Prairie 25, but then that huge sack on 4th down. Zumi, about the 12-yard sack on Huffendick to end that drive. Yes, Dorsey will get set to kick off for Eden Prairie. Cavanaugh back deep for Edina.
3:03 to go, first quarter of play. Eden Prairie 7, Edina nothing on the 13-yard pickup.
They'll be taken about the 9-yard line this time. Deutsch brings it across the 25 to about the 27-yard line. That's where the Hornets will start their second drive. Look for a little better result than they had to finish the first one.
It's kind of like what happened last week, where remember how often Minnetonka moved the ball into Eden Prairie territory and then it just came up empty a few times in the red zone with either turnovers on downs or normal turnovers with interceptions or fumbles. So see if Edina can turn around that trend.
Kavanaugh fighting forward.
Wow.
Breaks several tackles up near the first down. I think they're going to give it to him. Looked like from here he was going to be a little bit short, but they're going to give him the first down. So,
I mean, look at this powerful run. He got stopped about just 2 yards ahead of the line of scrimmage and then carried all the defenders for an extra 8 yards. Look at that again. That is an impressive, powerful run.
The gain of 10, first down Edina. Right back to Kavanaugh. This time, going to fight forward and will be stopped after a gain of about 3. If you look at Kavanaugh's stats, his yards per rush maybe not so high as a more elite, rather not elite, that's not the word I'm looking for, but a guy like Brian Curtis from Lakeville North. So Kavanaugh having to fight a little more for his yardage than perhaps some of the other top running backs in 6A. Second down and 7. We see he's got that great power, though, and the ability to break those tackles certainly adds to his yardage total. The handoff on the far side.
Tell you what, he is fun to watch. I mean, he's just like a pinball with defenders bouncing back off him. Let's watch it again. Sometimes you get entertained watching the running backs who cut and make guys evade. I'm kind of entertained by the guys who just bulldoze people. Look at this right here. Bounces right off the tackle.
Rami Sabri, who had the carry for Edina. It'll be third down and about 3.
Still haven't seen the Hornets put the ball in the air, so wouldn't be surprised if they run it, and we'll just look at their formation.
Jake Boltman
Pretty
in at
much are.
quarterback, so perhaps a trick play coming. Here's Sabri. He's got a first down. That gain of about 3. Only needed 2, and that'll move the chains for Edina. About to go under a minute here in the first quarter. Edina looking to continue to move the ball well. They turned it over on downs on their first drive, and then Eden Prairie driving 67 yards for a touchdown, a 14-yard touchdown pass from Kramer to Matt Sherman. First down from the 48. Kavanaugh fighting forward for a gain of maybe 2.
Even though he got stopped for a short gain, I think you got to keep handing the ball off to him, and I'm sure that's going to be the Hornets' strategy. You can't get in long yardage situations, but I love the way they run the ball. I can tell why they don't score many points. They take up so much time on the clock. I mean, the way Eden Prairie runs the ball as well, this game might wrap up by about 8:30. It's not even 7:30, and we're about down to the last play of the first quarter.
15 seconds remaining. Looks like Edina will run a play. I formation. Pitch to Kavanaugh. He'll go to the left side. He'll fight his way through and be taken down. Flags come down after a gain of about 6.
I'll watch it on the replay and see if I found anything. Unlike the Minnetonka game, we haven't seen many flags in this one.
We'll hear from official Chris Hogan for the first time this evening.
I don't know if that's maybe a hit out of bounds. I didn't see much on there. Tough to tell from our vantage point, but it is against the Eden Prairie defense.
A face mask against the Eagles, so that'll tack on 15 yards. It'll be a first down for Edina from the Eagle 32.
It's a big play and big penalty for Edina. That's essentially like a 20-yard gain that they've just picked up if you include the play and then the penalty.
That'll bring us to the end of the first quarter here at Prairie Stadium. Edina had 2 possessions. They've moved the ball on both of them, but no points thus far. But Eden Prairie, 67-yard touchdown drive, punctuated with a 13-yard touchdown pass from Cole Kramer to Matt Sherman, and they lead 7-0 here at the end of the first quarter.
Let's go ahead and check into our social media streams. People that are tuning into the game tonight. Again, you can watch the game on Twitter, YouTube, and also on Facebook. Facebook being the way most people watch the game, although we're getting quite a few on YouTube tonight, so maybe that one's growing in popularity. Either way, either some big tech billionaire wins, no matter who's watching the game from where. whether we're watching it on Facebook or Twitter. Anyways, though, let's run through some comments. Laveda says she's watching the game. Also have Sherwin watching the game as well. So thanks everyone for tuning into our broadcast this evening. I think we just had a quick comment here. I'll do a little troubleshooting for, let's see, for Maryland. Have a little trouble picking up the picture. I think if you try refreshing it, you should be okay. Sometimes internet speeds can do that on the user end.
We're going to get a false start against Edina here. That was Zach Ludke who got the quick early jump. Make it first down and 15 from the Eagle 37.
Well, being behind schedule is not what this Hornet team can afford to do. Again, through that whole first quarter, didn't see them, unless I'm forgetting something, put the ball in the air at all. So going to be tough here to pick up 15 yards on conceivably 3 runs. This play going to be the most important here to try to get back on track.
Huffendick on a roll. They got it to Deutsch, who'll pick up about 3. Though didn't get a lot of that penalty yardage back. It'll be second down and about 12.
Yeah, not a whole heck of a lot picked up there, but they did complete their first pass of the game, so there's at least something there. But still going to need a chunk of yardage here on one of the next 2 plays, because you're probably going to have to assume that this is going to be 4-down territory for the Hornets. It looks like we got an injured Eagle down on the field.
We've talked a little bit about what's at stake this evening. Metro West Subdivision title, as well as perhaps the number 3 seed in the postseason, assuming Lakeville North and Blaine both win tonight, as Blaine is taking on Anoka and Lakeville North against Egan.
So you would think those 2 teams should be favored to win their respective matchups. Those would go down as pretty shocking upsets if Anoka were to beat Blaine and then Egan knock off Lakeville North. So
it was nice to see Trey Berry able to jog off the field under his own power. Defensive tackle for the Eagles.
Tell you, once we get down to the first round games, we'll probably see a number of lopsided matchups. Once we get down to that round of 16, there could be some upsets there, at least on paper. But outside of Lakeville North and maybe Blaine, there really haven't been many runaway superpowers here in Class 6A.
Second and 12 for the Hornets. As Kavanaugh, he bowls his way forward past the original line of scrimmage. It'll be third down and about 9 coming up.
Well, let's see if they go back to that passing game, or maybe hope they can pick up 9 yards through 2 runs.
Edina's going to take their final timeout.
Well, I guess those timeouts don't roll over to the second half, so
might as well use them.
Got to use them if you got them.
Yeah, so Edina out of timeout. Still 10:57 to go here in the first half. Eden Prairie with a 7-0 lead, a 13-yard touchdown pass from Kramer to Matt Sherman.
All the running, it seems like, I think timeouts and the touchdown have been the only things that have stopped the clock. This has been a fast-moving game. Good one, though. I mean, Edina's moved the ball now twice against this Eden Prairie defense, but they're going to have to try to do something Minnetonka did not have a lot of success against this EP defense last week, and that's moving the ball once you get inside that 20 and 30-yard line. The Eden Prairie defense has really stiffened up when they get down on the field.
The 3rd and 9 from the 31. They are ready to resume play. High formation behind Huffendick. He steps off to get some more instructions. Huffendick will fake the pass. Now he'll try to run with it, and he'll be taken out of bounds after a gain of about 4. The fourth down once again for Edina, right about the same spot that they had the fourth down on the previous drive, in which Felipe Izumi emphatically sacked Ethan Huffendick to end that drive.
I don't know if they can necessarily run it here. I think they're going to have to put the ball in the air or maybe try a quarterback run. We'll see what the Hornets draw up in this situation.
4th and 6 from the Eagle 28. Huffendick slant passes. Dropped, unable to hold on to it was Hamza Malim. And Edina's second drive also ends in a turnover on downs.
That was a pretty good throw. Just unfortunately for them, it was a better hit by the Eden Prairie defense. You'll see it right here. He initially made the catch, but that hit jarred it loose. At least on my eyes. I got kind of a weird angle here, Patrick. Looks like he initially had the catch, didn't he?
Looked like it, but he took that hit from a couple of Eden Prairie players and unable to hold on. First down, Eden Prairie. Kramer play fake. He will go deep for Wolf and overthrew him. Wolf running down the center had beaten the double man coverage, but Kramer overthrew him. It'll be second down.
Way to keep that defense honest. Did have a couple of defenders with him, but yeah, if he had not let him quite as much, I'm not sure he would have broken that for a touchdown, but certainly would have been a big 30 or 40-yard play.
Kramer having a stellar senior season, came into the game 68.1 completion percentage with 1,175 passing yards, 7 touchdowns. Now has thrown his 8th. Inside handoff and picking up the first down up to the 40-yard line is Johnny Hartle. Hartle, who's a little guy, he's got a lot of speed, as you saw there, as he burst through that Edina defense, and he has a first down after a gain of 11.
Well, it's been a night of big bruising running backs, but this time we get a look at a little bit of a different-looking running back in Hartle. As he said, not a big guy, but he's quick. Was able to burst through a little hole, pick up a long run, and a first down for Eden Prairie.
High formation behind Kramer, 1st and 10 from the 39. They'll give it off again to Kruger, who fights his way forward for a gain of about 7. Oh, a great gain on first down for the Eagles.
Saw a couple Edina defenders get into the backfield, but they just weren't able to kind of reverse the momentum and make that tackle.
Kramer swings it out to Wolf, who makes the nice catch. Wolf breaks a tackle. Got a first down up to the 45-yard line, and Edina just narrowly missing being called for an offside there regardless. Kramer getting some guys to jump into the neutral zone. We've seen it a couple of times, and officials haven't called it. Not quite sure if those guys actually did get back on side, but regardless, no flags thrown. Kruger, he's got a big hole. Kruger hit at the 40 and driven back there after a gain of about 4. Griffin Spence, Greg Bess, and Russell Spence in on the stops there.
Reminder, tonight's game is brought to you by the Mulch Store. As those leaves begin to fall, you can get all of your yard waste dropped off at any of the Mulch Store locations in Burnsville, Minnetrista, Rosemount, and Shakopee. Find more information at mulchstoremn.com, mulchstoremn.com.
2nd and 6 from the 41. Kramer rolling out. He will look deep, and it is knocked down. Maybe able to get a hand on that at the last second with Sawyer Anderson. It was intended for Matt Sherman.
Well, let's see. I think he may have gotten a defender. Let's see. I don't know if he got a hand on that one. I think he may have just dropped it. Get one more look before we get the next play. Yeah, it's tough to tell from my vantage point.
3rd down and 6 from the Edina 41. High formation behind Kramer. Wolf out to the near side. The handoff to Kruger. He breaks a tackle, trying to get to the far side. He's got a first down, and he'll be taken down at about the 31-yard line. So a 10-yard run for Nick Kruger on 3rd and 6, and Eden Prairie gets a first down.
That is so back-breaking against the Edina defense, catching a break there on the drop. A chance to get them off the field, but a run on 3rd and 6 picks up a first down. Good evasive move. You're going to see right here they had a chance to make the tackle, but he just reversed direction. Unable to make the open field tackle. Now it's a first down for the Eagles.
There's a handoff to Izumi, who will pick up about 1. Now just midway, just past the 8.5-minute mark here of the second quarter, 7-0 Eden Prairie. 13-yard touchdown pass from Kramer to Matt Sherman. Here's Kruger. He's got a big hole again. Spins his way inside the 25. Be about 1.5 yards short of the first down.
Even though they stop him short, that's going to be a tall task to stop Eden Prairie in short yardage situations. It seems like they get it just about every single time.
3rd and down and 1. Kramer back to the huddle, getting some instructions from the sideline here. Three running backs lined up directly behind Kramer. And Izumi, he's got the first down to about the 15. Gain of 6 on 3rd down and 1, and Eden Prairie in the red zone again.
Like you know exactly what play is coming, but it's just so hard to stop. Everyone knows their assignments in these short yardage situations. No one really misses a block. Just finds a small hole and picks up a nice gain to pick up the first down.
1st and 10 from the Hornet 15. We got some movement. We'll have to find out who jumped first.
A little debate here. One side of the press box thinks it's the left tackle. Another side thinks it's the defense, but the man in the stripes is the only opinion that matters.
Be an encroachment penalty against Edina. First down and 5 from the 10.
That is our last broadcast of the season. Of course, we're not allowed to, unfortunately, do playoff games, but glad to have everyone tune in this season. And we do have one more halftime performance. We'll be streaming the band and the color guard once they play at the half.
Kruger works his way inside the 10 down to about the 7. Will be 2nd down and about 2. Anderson on the stop for Edina. Oh, Edina in danger of falling into a pretty big hole. Moved the ball well on offense, but both trips deep into Eden Prairie territory have ended in turnover on downs. Izumi gets the handoff. He'll get the first down as he worms his way up to about the 4.5-yard line. First and goal for Eden Prairie coming up. 5:46 to go in the second quarter. 7-0 Eden Prairie with the lead. They'll look to add on.
Yeah, really playing the style of football they like to play. I wouldn't say it's been quite night and day between the beginning of the season towards tonight, but they're definitely playing more of that heavy run style.
Colin Penn in at tailback. Penn trying to work his way around. Penn, can he get the corner? He is in. Colin Penn in for the touchdown.
Took a while for the official to make his decision. He says he was in. Boy, it looked like Penn was going to be caught in the backfield. Watch this again. Let's go rewind it. They had a chance to get him back at about the 18-yard line, but just pure speed. I think that's a good call as I'm watching at the very end of this. I don't think he stepped out of bounds at all. Good call by the official, but a heck of a job to turn nothing into a touchdown after it looked like he could have initially been stopped for a monstrous loss.
Reynolds' extra point is up, and it is good. 5-yard touchdown run for Colin Penn. It's 14-0 Eden Prairie with 5:17 to go in the first half.
I mean, good news for Edina is that they have, as we said, been able to move the football, but just not able to capitalize on the 2 drives they've had that have gotten near the Eden Prairie 30-yard line. But right now before halftime, I mean, it's pretty obvious they have to go in and score a touchdown right here. They're not a team that's going to put up points in a hurry, so if they go into halftime trailing by 2 touchdowns, it's tough to envision them launching some sort of comeback, but I guess stranger things have happened. But either way, this is an important drive coming up for the Hornets.
Edina's season total points allowed was 23 in a 23-0 loss to Wayzata. Their low point of the season for the Hornets, they really had one, that the same Wayzata team took Eden Prairie to the brink. In the game of the year between Wayzata and Eden Prairie, when Wayzata failed on the 2-point conversion attempt to possibly win the game. The Eagles winning that game 35-34. As Dorsey kicks off for Eden Prairie. As Deutsch can't handle it, he picks it up at the 5. It's a hit by Sather, falls forward to about the 17. And we'll have the Hornets starting field position there, deep in their own territory. And a critical drive for the Hornets, 5:10 to go. One thing to note as perhaps the next couple minutes go along, Edina has used all of their timeouts already here in the first half. So,
and normally you would say, well, they've used all their timeouts, but there's still 5 minutes left. They're in good shape, but with a team that doesn't make many big plays and likes to run the ball, that actually could become a factor, because they're pretty much a team that's going to use long drives to score touchdowns.
Split wide receivers. They'll go to Boltman. Boltman trying to get the corner, trying to bounce it out. He puts on some speed and is pushed out of bounds after a gain of about 7. So after all of that, the star wide receiver for Edina, who really only came on at about mid-season, had a breakout week last week with 7 catches.
You have to wonder kind of where they would be without him, because he's been a big part of their offense and trying to come up with some big plays. Well, they don't give him the first down. Apparently he stepped out a little before then.
Boltman last week, who had a touchdown catch, is now we have more false start activity.
Well, that kind of negates the nice run by Boltman, who also is a solid hockey player as well. So, tough break there for Edina.
Talking in the press box before the game, you got to wonder what Kurt Giles is thinking about this.
Yeah, I don't know if Kurt Giles is very happy about hockey players playing football. Could be wrong, but generally in this era of sports specialization, as a coach, you're always kind of nervous when one of your star athletes plays another sport, especially one like football, where there's generally a high risk of injury.
Boltman heading off to the U of M to play hockey. A number of solid commits. Of course, Kramer, we know about him. Kavanaugh will be headed to Harvard. As here's Kavanaugh. He's got the handoff, working his way forward to about the 26. It'll be 3rd down and short. Kavanaugh headed off to Harvard after this season, so a star not just on the field but off it as well.
So if he's smart, he should have good football sense as well.
Third and
I'll go ahead.
3rd and 1, a big third down here. Kavanaugh very close. We'll have to see where they spot it.
I was just going to bring up if he's a Harvard recruit. I know Harvard's got a well-known and good football team along with Yale. In theory, you should think that Harvard and Yale and Ivy League schools should be always the least penalized team in college football because they're smart. They don't make mistakes. Interesting to look at those numbers if that's actually true.
Gave Kavanaugh the 1st down, so Edina able to move the chains.
And as you said with that clock, it took them nearly a minute just to move the ball 10 yards, so that clock could become a factor.
I wonder, 4:15 to go. Kavanaugh hitting the backfield, and down he goes. Colin Penn, one of those down there for Eden Prairie. And that clock, of course, will just keep on running. Loss of 2 officially.
Even if it's through a run, they just need a big play here and a chunk of yardage. Of course, on the other hand, you don't necessarily want to punt the ball back to Eden Prairie with much time on the clock because even though they run a lot, Cole Kramer, a very talented quarterback, and Dejan Wolf, a good receiver.
Huffendick's pass is incomplete. Flag goes down. Was intended for Anders Freeland, and I think they might get some contact in the secondary on the call.
Well, let's take a look. Yeah, there's some early contact, as we'll see it again. Watch it right there. Running into the receiver just a little bit early, mistimed it. Lead to a 1st down for Edina.
May have been inadvertent, but nonetheless called regardless, and that'll give Edina a big 1st down. You talked about that big play that Edina needed, Brett, and maybe it came in a little bit of an unexpected manner. They'll have the ball 1st down at the 40.
Well, what their biggest play, I think, has been a 5-yard run plus a 15-yard penalty, all in the same sequence. I think that's been their longest gain of the night.
Huffendick setting up the screen for Deutsch, who is hit and dropped. Eden Prairie snuffed that out so well.
Well, it's not hard to snuff out because if you can't make big plays in the passing game, a screen's really not going to fool anybody. And right there, Eden Prairie defense kind of saw that coming all the way. Let's watch it again. Yeah, really no one bid on that screen by the defense, so a pretty easy stop for them.
Sherwin Pompey spent a lot of time at fullback, but also spending some time on defense. A loss of 2 on the play. Kavanaugh got a big hole. Kavanaugh brought down from behind after a gain of about 8. Ben Sather grabbing him from the waist and driving him down. It'll be 3rd down.
That's exactly the type of play they needed right there. Good run up the middle, and now they got this back to a manageable yardage.
3rd and 5. Huffendick will slow things down as flag comes down. I think Huffendick just wanted, he drew somebody off.
Yeah, he clearly drew someone offsides. We'll show it here on the replay. It was a little bit of a subtle move, but I caught it there on the defensive line.
Yep. It was Pompey who charged across a little early and bumped into the left tackle.
I wonder if they should have let Edina run a play there. You know, a la Aaron Rodgers that he does so often with the Packers when he catches the defense offsides. But referees blew it dead, so it'll just be 3rd and about as short as possible. 3rd and maybe 2 inches.
Clock is still running. 3rd down and less than 1. Boltman at quarterback, pass is caught for the 1st down as Matsui forcing out of bounds.
That's a good play call right there. I mean, the defense probably expecting a run when it's 3rd and 2 inches. You got a big setup. No one picked him up. Not a huge gain, but still gets them good 6, 7, 8 yards. Caught the defense by surprise. Edina keeps their drive alive.
Sabri made the big catch. Huffendick back in a quarterback. Quick pass is caught for the 1st down. Slow to get up a little bit is Boltman, who made the catch, and he works his way off the field. And Kurt Giles is watching this game, probably not too happy with what he just watched.
His heart has skipped a couple of beats there when he sees his big hockey star limp off the field. Hopefully he's all right, though.
Regardless, Boltman picks up a first down, gain of 11. Kavanaugh trying to fight his way forward. He'll have a gain of maybe about 3. 1:38 left, and Edina still needing to pick up some yardage left. We're out of timeouts with about 11 minutes to go in the first half.
I think they don't have a 2-minute offense. They kind of got a 6-minute offense, and that is about as quick as they can go.
Huffendick going deep for Freeland, and he overshot him at the 10.
They got one-on-one coverage right there, a little better throw, and they might have a chance to pick that one up.
It was a good play. It wasn't a terrible throw. Unfortunately, Freeland just unable to catch up to it.
Well, Edina needed something like that, too. I mean, with a minute 22 and no timeouts, I don't think you can really run your way into the end zone unless you pick up all 30 yards on one play, because that clock is going to really become a factor.
3rd and 8 from the Eden Prairie 30. Kavanaugh, or rather it's Deutsch who got the handoff, and he got hit right away. And once again, Edina is going to have a 4th down in a pretty much go-for-it situation.
And this is their 3rd trip to near the Eden Prairie 30-yard line, and it looks like yet again they could be come up with no points.
53 seconds remaining in the first half.
I think part of the strategy right here, too, is that if you don't pick it up, you don't want to give Cole Kramer and the Eden Prairie offense any time.
Huffendick passes, intercepted. It's J.D. Cowan with the interception. And Eden Prairie intercepts Huffendick. It was a very high pass.
Yeah, I was thrown into triple coverage as well, so that was going to take a pretty incredible effort to pick up that first down. Didn't help, too, as they try to get a tight end, as you'll see right here, coming across the field, but he got bumped by the linebacker, which I think kind of mistimed that play and forced Huffendick into a really tough throw into triple coverage. Was intercepted, and if anything, the interception may have backed up Eden Prairie by about 2 or 3 yards.
Let's see what the Eagles want to do. They have 30 seconds and all 3 timeouts. We'll start from the 28.
Doesn't look like they're going to pass it.
It's Hartle. Oh, as he slips and falls down, and he knows he had a huge gain that he just slipped and went down.
Yeah, he might have been off to the races if he was able to completely cut that off. Let's watch it again right here. Hartle, you see him right here. Look at all that green in front of him, and he just kind of tripped himself up.
And Eden Prairie will let that be that as we'll come to the end of the first half. The season finale here at Prairie Stadium. Everything going Eden Prairie's way thus far. A 13-yard touchdown pass from Cole Kramer to Matt Sherman in the first quarter, and a 4-yard touchdown run by Colin Penn in the second quarter puts Eden Prairie on top 14-0 as we go to the end of the first half. Once again, alongside Brett Johnson, I'm Patrick Lilia. Thank you for tuning in here on PSB Media. We're going to take the halftime break. Enjoy the show, everybody.
Please welcome the Eden Prairie Performance Team. Captains are Paula Nason, Colleen Thompson, Kira Carrington, as well Nicole Schluck, and Rihanna Basic. They'll be performing their hip-hop routine one last time tonight. Let's give it up for the Eden Prairie Performance Team. Check you and me and do your job. Berg is the name. Bimbola did the chain. Turner for the watch. Prezi plain Jane. Give it up for the Eden Prairie performance team. And now, please welcome to the field the Eden Prairie High School Eagle Marching Band. Our show title is No Limits, as humankind continues to search for answers to the universe. We look further into the infinite beauty of space. The distant galaxies yearn to be explored and understood. Imagine the near future as spaceports teem with astronauts, and light years are calculated to the next destination. New cosmic horizons await. There are no limits as we travel beyond the stars. Drum majors Marissa Thielen, Gia King, and Elizabeth Scott. Is the band ready? Eagle Band, the field is yours. We have 42 incredibly dedicated and talented students who will leave their legacy of excellence. Rest of the band, please clear the cars. In alphabetical order, we have Quinn Alexander, Carter Anderson, Abby Bergstrom, Brenda Cabral-Limon, Logan Campbell, Michaela Kapouch, Liam Casey, Anna Check, Andrew Danciak, Juliana Dybel, Eric Duckstad, Katie Umprick, Noah Feist, Katie Fox, Marion Frost, Hakeem Hamshire, Kim Khan Huang, Maggie Karen, Scott Kroll, Kirsten Luger, Ashley Lee, Kelly Miller, Carly Murdo, Dante Natal, Molly Nelson, Manushi Patel, Sheil Patel, Jia Kim, Kai Reed, Miles Rowland, Katie Samiti, Beck Schott, Casey Schneider, Elizabeth Scott, Hugh Seaton, Brittany Sletton, Abby Sluka, Donovan Stein, Joe Sullivan, Gabby Turan, Zhao Wu, and Emma Wallace. Thank you, seniors. This weekend, the Eagle Band will travel to Indianapolis to compete in the Bands of America Super Regional Competition. They will compete against 76 other bands from across the country. Good luck, Eagle Band! Here come the Eagles!
Welcome back to Prairie Stadium, everybody. Getting set to start the second half. Luke Aaron will kick off for Edina. And Prairie getting set to take the field to receive the kickoff. Eden Prairie scoring a touchdown in each of the first 2 quarters. First quarter was a 13-yard touchdown pass from Cole Kramer to Matt Sherman. The second quarter touchdown was a 4-yard touchdown run by Colin Penn. Edina will get set to kick off. Very fast-moving game. Winner of this game is just a squib kick. And falling on it there are the Eagles, and they'll go on offense from their own 31. It's Will Becker who fell on it. We're going to talk about a little bit what will happen next week. The winner of this game will get the number 1 seed in the Metro West subdivision. One of the 4 number 1 seeds in the subdivisions will get a bye, but that will be determined later on. Kramer play fake, slings it out to Wolf, who can't quite make a nice catch in traffic. As Greg Best put the hit on him late.
Might be kind of lucky that one wasn't possibly intercepted as well. Wolf lucky he got a hand on that, because if he didn't, that would have been a pick 6 going the other way for Edina.
So just to finish up, the number 1 overall seed does not automatically get the bye, so looking like that will be Lakeville North. They have a 42-0 lead over Egan, so cruising to a victory tonight and an undefeated regular season for the Panthers. On second down, handoff up the middle, Hartle, he'll have a gain of about 5.
I don't even know if that first round bye is necessarily a helpful thing, because the first round of the playoffs for 6A is not till a week from Friday, and if you get a bye there, that's 16 days off between games, which could allow you to get a little rusty.
Absolutely. It's a very good point to think about as well. Although last year Mike Grant was sort of, don't want to say if irritated with the right word. It's a 3rd down and 5. It's Kruger, he won't get the first down. That's after about 1, but Grant last year sort of vocally campaigning for that bye week, well, at least in his case, I guess. Didn't matter in the end, of course, as Eden Prairie rolled on to their 11th straight title. Eden Prairie will likely be forced to punt here.
Did we see any punts in the first half? Even a 14-0 game, I don't think we saw any punts.
Nope, Eden Edina's 3 drives all ended on 4th down, and Eden Prairie scored touchdowns on their only 2 possessions.
Yeah, normally you think a 14-0 game, it's probably one that's got a whole bunch of punts, but this is our first one.
Kramer with a high, short punt. It'll be downed there by Ben Sather, about the 47, and Edina will have a great opportunity here as they'll start from their own 47, looking to get back into this game.
The field position's good. The defense did their job. This is their opportunity to get back in this if they can go down and get a touchdown.
And they moved the ball well. It was just finishing their drives was such a disastrous effort for the Hornets in the first half. Bunch formation to the near side. Will play stop before the snap.
I think hearing in the press box, we might have a different quarterback in for Edina. Either way, it's not a good start for the offense to get the drive with a penalty.
George Sandvin, who was the quarterback on that play, it looks like you won't have Sandvin. So I guess Sandvin will take over at quarterback to start the second half. Sandvin under center, 1st and 15. And he lost the football. Sandvin got back on it. So,
well, he's had a tough start here to this game with a false start and then a fumble.
boy, though,
Welcome to the football game.
for Edina, you start at the 47, you have a false start penalty, a fumbled snap. Just an absolutely disastrous start to awesome field position for the Hornets.
Yeah, moving in the wrong direction. And you have to wonder how this quarterback's confidence is right now with a penalty and a fumble, if he's going to have the confidence to put this in the air for a big play, because Edina's probably going to need one.
Give to Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh's got a hole. Kavanaugh bursts his way through inside the 30, taken down at the 29.
Well, who needs the big pass if you can just have Kavanaugh rumble for a huge, huge run? Let's take a look at this again.
It's Kavanaugh a little bit slow to get up on the back end. The biggest play of the night for the Hornets.
You'll see right here at the beginning of this run, Eden Prairie had a chance to get him in the backfield as the defensive tackle broke right in. They couldn't bring him down, broke a few more. And now we're just hoping Kavanaugh is all right.
Well, a 31-yard run for Kavanaugh. Still down. Can't see him because he's right in front of the Eden Prairie bench. And oh my, there's a cart starting to move in the direction. Kavanaugh is up.
Yeah, he's not moving with any limp, so that's a really good sign. Yeah, I think you might have said it there, Patrick. Maybe just the wind knocked out of him.
Well, big first down for Edina. Now, once again, deep in Eden Prairie territory. They've been deep in Eden Prairie territory on all three drives. They turned it over on downs twice and then had an interception, which also came on a fourth down play. Sandvin under center, the new quarterback taking over in the second half. And off to Deutsch, who's got a big hole, and he'll be up near a first down. He'll have one.
Hornets got to be sitting there wondering, where were these plays in the first half? When we got an EP territory, I mean, they could very easily be tied with the lead if they were getting these types of plays.
A 10-yard run for John Deutsch and Edina in the red zone. Their first trip to the red zone tonight. And been quick out. Trying to break a tackle is Boltman, but it'll be taken down right at about the line of scrimmage.
That was snuffed out by the Eden Prairie defense, bringing down a good athlete. Actually, that's a great read, I think, by the defensive end, who was, you know, watch him here on the left side. I think picking that up, or actually was the outside linebacker.
Second down and 11, officially a loss of 1. Freeland out to the near side for Edina. Danvin, quick out, it's intercepted. Schauwen again with the interception, his second of the game. J.D. Cowan has intercepted 2 passes deep in Eden Prairie territory to kill Edina possessions. Edina has their second giveaway, and Eden Prairie will take over.
I think there was either miscommunication or just a bad throw, because I think he was possibly anticipating the receiver moving down the field a little bit more, but the receiver stayed there like it was just a curl route, but it's a turnover.
On first down, handoff to Kruger, and he'll have a good gain of about 6 or 7.
Now this is the time where Eden Prairie could really assert their will. They've done this so often in games where they go on like a 12 or 15 play drive in the third quarter to really salt the game away. So Edina's in danger here. Their defense needs to come up with another big stop, just like they did on the initial third quarter drive.
So Edina has made trips deep into Eden Prairie territory on all of its possessions. 2 turnovers on downs and 2 interceptions thrown. And picking up for the first down is Azumi.
And that's another Eden Prairie. Tackled by number 9, Will Davis.
Will Davis leads Edina in sacks, made the tackle.
77. Jacob Amborn, 78, Bronson Warner.
7:25 to go in the third quarter, 14-0. Eden Prairie with the lead. The handoff to Kruger. He'll push his way forward for a gain of about 2.
Tackle by number 25, Russell Spence.
Edina, who has not beaten Eden Prairie since 2012.
It's interesting as you bring that up. You normally picture Minnetonka as being the more successful program between them and Edina. They're the last two opponents Eden Prairie's played. Edina has the most recent win over the Eagles, as you said, back in 2012. It's been since 2004 when Minnetonka beat Eden Prairie. Among the other Lake schools, I think that was the last year Wayzata beat them as well. Hopkins, that was probably forever ago when they beat Eden Prairie. Maybe even before the Mike Grant era.
Yes, Kruger looked like he had a hole, but it closed up very quickly, and he was hit and dropped after a gain of only about 1. Edina, who forced Eden Prairie to punt on their prior possession, will look to come up with another big stop. I want to thank the Malt Store and Tactical Urban Combat once again, our 2 sponsors for this season here on PSB Media. Thank you for riding out this season with us, as Eden Prairie will spread things out on 3rd and 8, 4 wide receivers. We have flags coming down. With a delay of game against Eden Prairie.
Well, that's uncharacteristic. I was thinking maybe Edina would be calling a timeout there, maybe not anticipating that spread formation that the Eagles brought out. This is a much different Eagle team than we've seen in years past, when normally they have a 3rd and 10 or a 3rd and 12. It's pretty much a guarantee they're going to run ball and just try to punt it if they don't pick it up. But this year they're very capable of converting in these long yardage situations with a D1 recruit at quarterback, and Cole Kramer, and a good receiver in Dejan Wolf.
Come out to in the same formation. Kramer pressured, able to dump it off to Amundsen. Amundsen will be tackled well short of the first down. Amundsen, who did not play last week, or was rather not on the stat sheet in any case. The leading rusher for Eden Prairie prior to Nick Kruger's outburst last week. Makes his first appearance in this game tonight, but Eden Prairie will be forced to punt. It's almost breaking through. Kavanaugh will have a chance. Kavanaugh, he's got some space, got some good blocks in front of him, as he'll be taken down at about the 46-yard line. Right about the same spot the prior Edina drive started.
Yeah, they just went backwards last time, but they did get a couple of big plays, which got them deep into Eden Prairie territory. But again, is that the 4th trip they've taken deep into EP territory and come up with no points?
Threw an interception on their previous possession. Huffendick back in at quarterback for Edina. Kavanaugh will flip it to Boltman. Boltman's got some room, and he'll be taken down at about the 49-yard line of the Eagles.
Second time they've run that double reverse. First time they ran it, I think they got a good gain this time. It's all right, 5-6 yards.
Mark
Keep them on schedule.
Mark it back at the 50. 4:39 already in the third quarter. Very fast-moving game. 2nd and 6, Kavanaugh trying to churn his way forward, but he'll be taken down after a gain of about 1. Edina back in Eden Prairie territory. They've gained the Eden Prairie 35 on all of their drives, but as Brett said, nothing to show for it.
Third down and 5.
3rd and 5 from the 49. Huffendick straight drop. He'll look. Now he'll run, and he'll be taken down right at the marker.
If he doesn't have it, he's about a half yard short, and obviously a situation where the Hornets probably going to go for it.
I think they gave him a really good spot from what I can see up here.
Yeah, let's watch it on the replay and see.
We're going to stop for a measurement.
Actually, I don't know. I think that was a pretty good spot. I think initially the referee stopped him kind of short. See it again right here? I think he falls down right at about the 44-yard line. I think that's a good spot by the official.
From here, right at the marker.
I think the referee gave him a good spot, but we'll see if it's far enough.
A little bit short. See what Edina wants to dial up on 4th down and inches.
Well, they're certainly not going to be punting it. I think just a QB sneak right here. I mean, it is not far at all.
Like I've heard once
inches.
on a broadcast, something like that was about 4th and 10 sheets of paper.
Yeah. What was the year in the NFL where a referee used like a piece of paper to show how long it was for a first down?
I think that was the Broncos Chargers
Yeah.
game. I think it might have been the same game with the infamous Jay Cutler non-fumble that.
Yeah.
Huffendick will just sneak it forward. Didn't need much, actually got a fair bit for that kind of play, and he'll have an easy 1st down.
I don't care where you are on the field. I don't know why more coaches don't go for it whenever it's like 4th and 2 inches. At any level, so often you see coaches just elect to punt it if they have it like back at their own 20-yard line on 4th and inches. The percentages dictate you're going to pick it up about 95% of the time. I don't get why they don't go for it more.
1st down for Edina at the Eagle 42. Huffendick back to pass. Will sling it and caught by Freeland. He's got a 1st down. Almost broke a tackle, taken down at the 25-yard line of the Eagles. Anders Freeland with a big 15-yard catch.
Suddenly Edina's gotten the passing game working a little bit there. It's kind of comeback route. Eden Prairie was anticipating, it looks like him going deep. Worked out. Edina's again got something cooking in Eden Prairie territory.
Kavanaugh hit in the backfield, probably lost about half a yard.
Like we're just seeing the same script over and over again. It's kind of Groundhog Day whenever Edina moves the ball into Eden Prairie territory where they just get stonewalled right away. And it's kind of looking like that again because they've fallen behind schedule here on 2nd and 10.
Already under 2.5 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter. The real-time clock, it's only 8:33. This game only about an hour and a half old. There's a procedure penalty coming against Edina.
Oh.
They stopped the play, so that's why I thought it was against
I'm with you, but
Edina.
I think this is against the defense.
It was against Eden Prairie.
I was going to say just how many times you have to shoot yourself in the foot if you're Edina, but fortunately for them, against the Eagles. Here's some chatter that it just sounds like someone lined up in the neutral zone on the defense. Edina's going to take it, though. I mean, they'll take any yardage you can get when you get near the red zone with the way things have been going for the Hornets.
2nd and 6 from the 21. Pitch to Kavanaugh, trying the right side. Cuts it back in, and he'll have a gain of about 3, maybe 4. Will be 3rd down.
Got to be Kavanaugh getting this next handoff right here. 3rd and 2, you got to pick it up here. Don't risk that 4th down.
The Hornets, who have just been snake bitten every time they've driven down into Eden Prairie territory. First 2 times they turned it over on downs. The most recent 2 times ending with interceptions, both by J.D. Cowan. And Edina's going to take a timeout. Big play coming. Minute 10 to go here in the third quarter. Edina trailing 14-0, but they have a third down deep in Eden Prairie territory.
Take a look at our social media feed. Let's go ahead and take a look at what's happening on Facebook. A lot of people watching there. In fact, majority of our listeners are actually on YouTube tonight, so go figure. But looking at the YouTube feed, we have Patty watching the game tonight. Who else do we have? Screen is refreshing, so give me 2 seconds. That's what we call time filling in the business. Sarah Schultz also watching the game, so thanks everyone for tuning into the broadcast this evening. In our last one of the season, we don't bring you any playoff games, unfortunately, since another company has the video rights to the games. But I believe once you get kind of the round of 16, and especially the round of 8, which is technically the state tournament, most games are streamed by, I believe, Min Prep Spotlight. So you should be able to watch it there once we hit playoff time.
Edina will line up in the I formation, 3rd down and 2 from the Eagle 17. Kavanaugh, the tailback, rather that's Deutsch. Deutsch will get it, fighting forward. Looks like he'll have the first down up to about the 14.
Player number 5, John Deutsch.
So Edina moving deeper into Eagle territory.
This is as deep as they've been. Only have room for one more first down. Just the key is they got to get something positive here on first down. That's what's really hurt them when they've gotten into Eden Prairie territory sometimes tonight, with just having penalties or negative plays on first down.
50 seconds to go in the third quarter. First down, Edina. Huffendick will go to the end zone and overshot.
Well, you're trying to catch the defense by surprise there, but I think you got to keep it on the ground right there and try to just pound your way into the end zone, because now you're another long yardage situation and only 3 downs to work with.
Pass was intended for Boltman. Boltman will, they stopped the game for an injury, so have an Eden Prairie player down outside of the end zone on the far side.
Yeah, I'm not sure who that is, but again, hopefully he's all right. Going back to the play call there, I think you got to keep it on the ground there and just pound your way in. But Edina's going to be behind schedule again. See if we can pick up some scores from around the area tonight. Take a look at the Class 6A scoreboard. Not really a whole ton of big-time matchups this evening outside of this one, but we do have, looking at some scores, Cretin-Durham Hall on top of Roseville, 21-0. Lakeville Northwell on their way to beating Egan up 49-0. Also have Wyzetta and Maple Grove in quite a battle, with Maple Grove on top 24-20.
So we're talking about Blaine. We couldn't get a score on them. We found one. The Bengals are up 15-7.
Wow, I'm surprised. At least I don't follow North Metro football a lot, but typically Anoka is not really much of a powerhouse team, but it sounds like they're giving the number 2 rated Blaine Bengals about all they can handle.
The winner of this game hoping for the 3 seed overall in the tournament. 2nd down and 10. Kavanaugh trying to bounce his way off the right side. Maybe picks up a couple.
See, it's a decent gain there, but that incomplete pass, I think, is going to come back and really bite them, because now you only got 2 downs to pick up those 7 or 8 yards that they need. Still think they should have ran that on first down.
We'll see what Edina wants to do. They kind of look like they're going to let this one run down to the end of the quarter with 13 seconds remaining. Edina not even out of the huddles. We're under 10 seconds to go.
They're going to get it off. Let's see.
And there will be flags down before the snap.
Well, maybe they should have waited for the 4th quarter. Question is, who jumped first? Yeah, I have a replay of it. Patrick, I'll let you make the call. Oh, I think it was the Eden Prairie defense that moved first. Look at it right here. You're going to see. No, I think that's on Eden Prairie.
Officials are still discussing.
Huh? Unless like an Edina lineman bobbed his head, to me it looked like the entire Eden Prairie defense.
I think they're going to say the quarter
Moved
came
first.
to an end
Yeah.
before anything
Oh.
happened.
So that was all for naught then? Just going to say nope. We can't make up our minds, so it's the end of the quarter.
It's the end of the third quarter with the
So no
score.
There you go.
penalties assessed, and we'll go to the end of the third quarter. Edina trailing 14-0, but once again deep in Eden Prairie territory, looking to finally put something up on the scoreboard.
It's kind of the equivalent of the officials punting. You don't know who jumped first, so we'll just say it's the end of the quarter. I kind of like that.
Saved by the bell.
Yeah, exactly.
I want to thank you all for tuning in all season long. It's just a abbreviated home schedule for us this season here on PSB, but I'd like to thank, of course, the end of season, all of the staff who helped us out this year. We had Howard Luloff filled in on a game. Kevin made a cameo last week. Of course, Krister had been with us for a couple of games earlier this year.
Yeah, nice crew helping out this year. We had Howard fill in. He is just a walking encyclopedia of information. He was fun to have in for one game. Glad to have you back on the call after doing a little color commentary last week when our old regular play-by-play man made a one-game cameo last week at Einer Anderson Field at Minnetonka.
Third down and 8 for the Hornets from the Eden Prairie 11. See what Edina wants to do. It may be a situation that they're not going to look to pick up all of it. They certainly need to get something, or might be in danger of another failed venture into Eden Prairie territory.
So we got, what, 3rd and 7.
Dick is going to go down.
Again, I'm going to sound like a broken record, but I think it all comes back to that first down incomplete pass that really put them behind schedule, and now they're going to have to really pull something out of their hat here to try to convert on 4th and 7.
We 4th down and about 12. Need to get to the 4-yard line to get the first down. Dick looking, he'll throw to the far side corner, and it is tipped around and incomplete. Boltman is tangled up in coverage, and for the 5th time, Edina fails in Eden Prairie territory.
I think that's the play call you want right there in the situation. If you're Edina, getting Boltman on the outside and one-on-one coverage, just hope he can make a play. Unfortunately, he couldn't. It was great coverage by the Eden Prairie DB. A nice job. You'll see it one more time here, making sure he stayed focused on the football instead of Boltman. Made a nice defensive play. Turnover on downs, and that one might just about do it, even though it's still a 2-score game.
Eden Prairie takes over from their own 12, and we're going to have more stoppages prior to the snap.
Guess we got to make up for how quickly the game moved in the first 3 quarters. Now we got to get stoppages.
Penalty against Eden Prairie. A false start, so back Eden Prairie up inside the 10.
Maybe Edina's best chance of getting some points here is stopping Eden Prairie 3 times and blocking a punt. You got to get your points on special teams.
It'll be 1st and 15 from the 7. There's a handoff on 1st down, getting across the 10. It's Kruger up to about the
Patrick, you're going to have to go radio style for a second, as I got to replace the battery in our camera, if you can do that. See the wonderful no signal sign right now instead.
As Brett was saying before the game, he thought it shouldn't be able to last. Well, I guess the joke's on you, Brett.
I know, so much for that battery, huh? Let's test your radio skills.
It might be the chill. There's that cold weather, maybe draining that battery.
I'll get one up here in just a second if you stay patient.
As Kramer will line up under center, 2 running backs behind him, 1 wide receiver out to the near side. There's a handoff to Kruger, who'll bring it off left tackle, and he'll pick up about 3 across the 15.
And there you go. You didn't miss very much.
Although I do need to make more radio demos going forward.
Yeah,
so.
Man, that was your big chance right there.
All right.
Could have brought Wally on the broadcast instead.
Pipe in the audio.
He's doing a radio broadcast.
It'll be 3rd down and about 5 from the 17 for Eden Prairie.
You're down 5.
9:41 to go in the final quarter. 14-0. Handoff Hartle working his way forward, and
nothing.
Well, short of the first down, and Edina will force Eden Prairie to punt again.
Well, like I said, that might have to be their strategy here, is getting a blocked punt or something. I'd almost just bring the house here if I'm Edina, because you got to get 2 scores and your offense doesn't really have a big playability.
Kramer gets the punt away. It's a good punt. Kavanaugh back will bounce, and it'll take another Eden Prairie roll, and it'll be downed at about the 39-yard line of the Hornets.
Just blown down at the 39-yard line.
Edina back on offense. They've traveled deep in Eden Prairie territory on all 5 of their drives and come away with no points. 3 turnover on downs and 2 interceptions.
Every single drive they've made it into Eden Prairie territory, haven't they? I'm remembering, I don't think they've been forced to punt or had a turnover outside of like the EP 30-yard line.
Nope, so they will try to build on that. Still not out of this game. 8:57 left to go. Kavanaugh will be hit and dropped maybe at about the line of scrimmage. That's some extracurricular behind the play. Nothing called, but Eden Prairie bench is yelling for a flag.
Oh, I see what they're talking about at the top of the screen. He's just kind of finishing his block there. Nothing like that EP Minnetonka game where we had how many personal foul penalties on both squads?
Tough and Dick play action. Will look deep for Freeland, and it's incomplete.
Incomplete. Look for number 85, Andrew.
Down there was Namdi Obayazor in coverage with Freeland. It'll be 3rd down and long. Another big 3rd down for Edina. Huff and Dick setting to set up Boltman, who makes the catch, but Eden Prairie was well prepared for that one, and Edina.
Yeah, again, the problem is you need a passing game to get screens to work. I mean, you're not going to fool anyone on a screen if you don't really have a big playability in your passing game.
Kyle Akins made the stop for Edina, and Edina looks like they will punt for their first time tonight. Not very often that you have no points on the scoreboard at this point in the game and can say you haven't punted the ball in the game. Good high punt. And Wolf will fair catch it at about the 35-yard line. Eden Prairie will go back on offense. And And Edina has held them down well here in the second half as Eden Prairie has had to punt all 3 times they've had it.
First down for Eden Prairie at their own 35-yard line.
We'll see if the Hornets can come up with another big stop and perhaps get the ball back. The time is starting to become a factor quickly, just 7:19 remaining. Kruger on first down. He'll only have a gain of about 1.5 yards.
Give the Edina defense credit. I mean, they've kept them in the ball game here, even though the offense really hasn't done a whole lot here in the second half. Defense has given their offense chances, putting them in good field position, just Edina unable to cash in.
Eden Prairie will be happy to melt some of that clock away. Under 6:45 left to go. Kramer will give it to Izumi, who forces his way through across the 40 to the 42. Izumi, who had the big sack that ended Edina's first drive on 4th down.
By the way, hello to Mike York watching. He says Patrick Lilia is the Batman of commentary.
Thanks, Mike. 3rd down and 2. It's Kruger who'll flip it back to Penn. Penn fighting for the first down, and he'll get it. Penn looked like he was going to be tackled at the line of scrimmage and just able to dive his way forward, and he's got a big first down with 6:01 to go in the game.
Yeah, just Edina gave him a little hole that they didn't close up. You'll see it right there. Squirting right through it, and then just kind of a shot out of a bottle there with that burst of speed to pick up the first down once he was able to find that little hole.
First down from the 47. Izumi ahead. He stopped at about the 50-yard line, maybe squirting his way into Edina territory. We'll put it on the Edina side of the 50. Second down and about 5.
Number 44, Jonathan Bunce. Key block by number 65, Michael Fulgen. Second down and 7.
So assuming Lakeville North and Blaine will, Lakeville North well in control of their game. I think a little hairier for the Bengals, but assuming Eden Prairie can hold on here. Here's a handoff to Kruger, and he'll be stopped after a gain of about 2. And Edina, I think, is going to take their second timeout. Now to finish up what we were just talking about, assuming Eden Prairie can hold on, they have a 2-touchdown lead with 5 minutes to play in the ball. I think they would lock up the number 3 overall, perhaps.
Either way, whether you get that 1, 2, or 3 seed, you're likely going to be playing an overmatched opponent in the first round, as there is quite a disparity between the top, 10 to 15 teams and the bottom 10 to 15 teams in 6A. But again, as I was saying, it's the second round, that round of 16, where I think we could see a number of upsets since there's a lot of evenly matched squads in that area.
Blaine has up their lead to 26-7, so they are now in control of that game after Anoka perhaps put a scare into them early. It looked like the status quo will hold. Not that we really expected much different, but Lakeville North well in control of their game. They were up 49-0 at their last check, and Blaine has opened up a nice lead now over Anoka. So assuming Eden Prairie holds on, we'll probably lock up that number 3 seed. Winning the Metro West. Kramer will throw, and he will dump it off. It's caught for the first down by Amundsen, who's knocked out of bounds inside the 40, down to about the 37-yard line.
Another back-breaking play there, passing on that third down, electing not to run it to keep the clock moving. They do put it in the air, but a nice low-risk throw. Looking at the job after he's initially hit, falls to his knees, is able to get back up, and you kind of wonder if that made the Edina defenders forget about him. Kept with the play, picked up the first down, and more importantly, that clock keeps rolling.
Edina only has 1 timeout remaining. And off Izumi. Izumi forces his way up inside the 30-yard line, still churning. First down and more. Flag comes down at the end, maybe a face mask.
He had to just about grab every part of his body to try to bring him down. Man, he just refused to go to the ground. Look at this again. Kind of looked like almost Marshawn Lynch in that one Saints-Seahawks playoff game from about 8 or 10 years ago. Just kept breaking tackle after tackle after tackle. I'm counting at least 6 broken tackles.
The face mask against Edina. Move the ball inside the 15.
Those types of runs just fire up your sideline too. Nothing better than that.
You kind of forget that at the lower levels, that 5-yard face mask still in effect, something the NFL did away with years ago. It's either no penalty or 15.
Down on the 18-yard line.
Yeah, what's that judgment? Is that if you just grab the face mask and let go right away, it's still 5?
I think something of that nature. First down from the 18. Kruger, big hole inside the 15, down to maybe the 14.
Number 9, Will Davis.
Edina will take their final timeout.
One more quick shout out to the Mulch Store for sponsoring our broadcasts this season. Again, any final yard waste, drop them off at any of the Mulch Store locations. Also use them for your landscaping needs for next year. Locations in Burnsville, Minnetrista, Rosemount, and Shakopee. Best compost you'll also find in the entire Midwest. MulchStoreMN.com. Also thanks to Tactical Urban Combat in Eden Prairie. Located right in Eden Prairie Center, a very cool Nerf arena. Great kid birthday parties, family gatherings, even corporate events. Great entertainment venue if you're into those old Nerf wars back from when we were a kid. It's Tactical Urban Combat in Eden Prairie Center.
So for Eden Prairie, who got off to the season kind of shaky, they had the narrow victory over Eastview, the loss the next week, and they've just continued to get better and better every week. And it's certainly, no one would argue that this is one of the best teams that Eden Prairie has fielded, but they've really rounded into somebody who nobody is going to want to see in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, I think about the only team that's going to be confident playing them is probably Lakeville North.
Here's Izumi off the left side, fighting his way forward, taken down a couple yards shy of the first down. This Wayzata almost beating Eden Prairie as well, but since then, Eden Prairie just looking like that well-rounded team, the defensive power that we've come to expect. We're talking also that in the pregame that Eden Prairie hadn't shut anybody out this season. They'd allowed 10 or more points in all but one of their games, which doesn't sound like a lot, but for Eden Prairie, who's so accustomed to putting up several shutouts a season, Eden Prairie 3.5 minutes away from putting up their first one of this season. This Kruger inside the 10. Pretty close to the first down. We'll see where they spot it.
Yeah, talking about that defensive tradition, I know they've had, I don't remember what year, but I think they had a team that had shutouts in like 4 of their 5 playoff games, including the Prep Bowl. So they've certainly been a defensive powerhouse for a number of years, but that's an interesting number you brought up. This is the 8th and final regular season game, and they still have not pitched a shutout. Although they could be well on their way unless Edina gets some kind of massive big play when they get the ball back.
Yes, Kruger ended up short of the first down. I think Eden Prairie's going to let the clock run down, and they'll take a timeout of their own. The 4th down and 1. So last week, sort of similar situation with the ball on the half-yard line. Eden Prairie electing to go for it on 4th down, and it seemed like a sound decision simply because kicking a field goal at that angle is so difficult at the high school level with those wide hash marks like that. And even if they didn't get it, Minnetonka would still have had to go 99 yards to tie the game.
Either way, even here, I mean, if you kick the field goal, it should be relatively makeable. You're up 3 scores, or even if you go for it on 4th down and don't get it, you're still going to force the Hornets to go about 90 yards, which they have shown the ability to pick up about 60 of those 90 yards. Just it's the last 30 that's been an issue.
All 5 of, or Edina's first 5 possessions, I want to correct myself because the Hornets did end up having to punt on their last drive, but first 5 possessions for the Hornets, all driving deep into Eden Prairie territory. Each drive a little bit deeper than the previous one, but 3 turnovers on downs and 2 interceptions thrown. 4th and 1 from the Hornet 9. Give it to Azumi. Falls forward, and he should have the first down.
They're just unstoppable when they get 3rd and 4th and less than 1 yard. Even when you make a good defensive play, those running backs just have the ability to fall forward. That's exactly what happened there. Edina got good penetration, as you're going to see on the replay right here. I mean, they hit him at about the 9-yard line. They had a chance to bring him down, but it's just that strong ability to fall forward that led to that first down.
Didn't get much, but didn't need much, and it'll be 1st and goal for Eden Prairie. Edina out of timeouts, 2:20 to go in the game. It's Kruger. Maybe picked up 1. Eden Prairie, though, doesn't really care about that, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's a win-win here. Either they score a touchdown or that clock goes pretty close to double zeros. I mean, if they were to get the 4th down and not convert, Edina might get it back with, what, 30 seconds, if that.
Eden Prairie will head on. They'll win the Metro West subdivision. We'll wait to find out about what happened next week. The 4 teams all getting 4 number 1 seeds going to a pool for buys as Azumi forces his way forward and in. Felipe Azumi with a 8-yard touchdown run, and Eden Prairie extends their lead to 20-0 with 1:24 to go.
Azumi just rumbled his way up the middle. It's tough to stop that on defense when you know you're kind of out of the game and you still got to keep playing. Nice run, and Eden Prairie's up 3 scores.
Reynolds' extra point is good. And with 1:24 to go in regulation, Edina now trails 21-0. Dominating performance by Eden Prairie. The Hornets able to move the ball very well on offense, but Eden Prairie stepping up every time that Edina drove deep into the Eagles' territory.
Well, there's some positives they can take away. It's just the inability to finish drives, but Edina still could be a dangerous team come playoff team. They're one of those squads that's likely to make that round of 16, and whoever they end up playing, I should say, is they get a heck of a battle with the way they can run the ball and play defense. Just a matter of finishing those drives.
You have to figure out how to score points after the first quarter, and they didn't even get any points in the first quarter tonight, or any quarter for that matter. Dorsey will squib this one. It'll be knocked down. It'll be recovered by Griffin Spence for Edina.
To see here if Edina, well, maybe they decide to work on their 2-minute offense and their passing game here, even though they're down by 3 scores. It's a good opportunity to practice it against an elite defense, or just like to run the ball and let that clock hit double zeros.
So Eden Prairie will go into that pool of 4 teams. We'll see what happens with who will end up with the bye week. Based on last year, Mike Grant would not be displeased to be the one to get that bye week. So first down, a handoff up the middle. John Deutsch will pick up about 5. 1:12 remaining in regulation. So Eden Prairie will finish the regular season 7-1, 6 straight wins to close out the regular season, and there's a player down for Chio Trotter down for the Eagles.
That's a tough break there, last minute of the game with the result likely decided. Very unfortunate.
Edina will lose to Eden Prairie for the 6th straight time.
And probably for about the 30th out of 31st tries, as I think that 2012 matchup is the only time they've won in probably close to 30 or 40 years. Last time they probably beat them prior to then was when Eden Prairie was likely still kind of a farm town, or at the very least a small suburb. Amazing dominance against Lake Conference teams, talking about how Minnetonka with just that one victory, I think back in 2004. Wayzata did beat them a couple times earlier this decade, but not much success since then.
Clock runs, 1:02 left to go. Edina's just going to be content to run out the clock. As the regular season will come to an end. Got some score updates for you as we close out our season here on PSB. A dominating, encouraging performance for Eden Prairie this evening as they will clinch the #1 seed of the Metro West, likely the #3 overall seed going into the tournament. They finished the season 7-1.
That's the end of the ball game with the final score.
We'll check some scores for you though, just for kicks as the clock hits triple zeros. Eden Prairie defeats Edina by a score of 21-0.
Yeah, overall a decent effort by both squads. Just Edina, as we've said so many times, inability to finish drives, but gave a good effort here. They got a good defense, and I still think they're going to be a force to be reckoned with come playoff time. Meanwhile, Eden Prairie, just so much improvement throughout the season. It looked like they could be well on their way to another state title. I think we could be looking at another Lakeville North Eden Prairie matchup late in the state tournament, if not the Prep Bowl.
Maple Grove leading Wayzata 31-27. We'll have Lakeville North taking care of business 65-0 over Egan. Creighton-Durham Hall over Roseville 21-0. Buffalo over Rogers 27-17. Of course, Buffalo perhaps involved in one of the wildest games of the year against Elk River several weeks ago. 80-70, the final score of that game, with the Elks winning that game. Oh,
what do you think? Ready to call it a season?
Sounds good to me. Want to thank you all for tuning in all season long. Once again, for Brett and everybody, I'm Patrick Lilia. Continue on postseason coverage. Unfortunately, not with us, but make sure that you will have a way to follow all the playoff action. Once again, Eden Prairie wins 21-0. They clinch the Metro West, probably the #3 overall seed in the 31-team tournament. And we will hopefully talk to you next season. Have a good night, everybody.
All right.